And we start with a Fox News alert today because, look, Jay Carney still speaking there at the White House press briefing. He was a little bit late today, came out, got hammered on the VA questions. Taking a lot of heat now over that growing scandal. More lawmakers from both sides of the aisle calling for Agency Chief Eric Shinseki now to step down. Well, that follows a rare late-night hearing on Capitol Hill where members of the House Veterans Affairs Committee, they grilled top VA officials for more than 4 hours over the reported treatment of our nation's vets. Still, as more Dems join with Republicans now to clean house at the VA, House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, well, she is still reserving some judgment.
I really do think we have to be careful about thinking that just because you remove the top person means that you've changed the systemic problem that exists in the organization 10 years before Shinseki, or 5 years at least before Shinseki became the secretary.
Jessie Jane Duff, retired Marine Corps Gunnery Sergeant and a member of Concerned Veterans for America, is my guest today. All right, so we're hearing from Nancy Pelosi. Now we're hearing from Jay Carney. What do you think about the hearing last night and the fact that Shinseki is still there?
Well, I found that the hearing was strikingly very empty. The VA officials kept referring to the general counsel responses, and even Congressman Miller had to call them out and say, are you going to stop reading from your note cards? I mean, they are not being held accountable. The president's talking about waiting for results. I mean, they're standing there with the garden hose while the house is burning down. They need to start taking action now.
Okay, well, let's see. You brought up the president. I want to let our viewers hear what Jay Carney had to say about what the president thinks about that report that just came out yesterday afternoon. Listen to this.
When it comes to the current situation, the inquiries and the investigations and some of the allegations, the president wants to see the results of these reports, and he, as you know, made clear that he believes there ought to be accountability once we establish all the facts.
All right, so is that good enough, Jesse, to wait for more facts?
I'm shocked. You know, I'm sure if I knew about the scandals in Dorn Medical Facility where 5 veterans died waiting for colonoscopies last year, that the president knew and Secretary Shinseki knew. If I knew about deaths in Augusta, Atlanta, Pittsburgh, 700 veterans sick from Legionnaire's disease, all of these happened well before Phoenix. I'm quite confident the president and Secretary Shinseki knew. So what are they waiting for? What more facts? These are all documented facts of mismanagement that have already been revealed.
And so now we have even more Democrats coming forward. I want to show everyone how many now. At least in the House, 17 Dems, and GOP 55. In the Senate, 6 Democrats, and in the GOP, 11, especially after that Inspector General's report came out yesterday. We had more and more Democrats saying that Shinseki should step down. What do you think, though, is the solution? Because people who are asking for him not to step down just yet say, look, if we get rid of just the top guy, there are so many other problems. So for Jessie Jane, what's the solution?
Of course there's other problems. That's why you have him step down and you clean the entire house out. Every political appointee needs to be removed. Every single executive needs to be taken up on criminal charges who is found liable for the deaths of these veterans. The reality is, no, it's not just the secretary, but he needs to take the lead because in 5 years since he's been on board, these problems have perpetrated and gotten worse. And if I'm aware of them, he's aware of them. And this is long before Phoenix. 1.5 million records alone were deleted by the VA of men and women waiting for their appointments. So this is systemic, and having him resign is just the first step. We need to bring in new executives, new management, and it doesn't take a general to run the VA. It takes somebody with a proven record who is able to manage and get health care through the system.
Well, it's a very scary scenario right now as we continue to wait to see what's going to happen. Jessie Jane, thanks for your time.